by John Lee and June E. Selle, and I'll turn that hearing over to Solicitor Wagner.
Thank you. The first order of business will be anybody who anticipates providing evidence either in favor of the application or against the application. Would they please rise and be sworn by the young lady to my left? Yeah.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Okay, I need all of your names for me.
Tom Marsilio, M-A-R-S-I-L. I-O.
I-O?
Yep.
Art Campbell, C-A-M-P-B-E-L-L.
Thank you.
John Selle.
Thank you.
June Selle.
June?
Carl Fox.
Thank you.
For purposes of tonight's conditional use hearing, we're going to enter into the record the following exhibits, which I will describe, and then we'll admit those to the records as joint exhibits on behalf of the township and also on behalf of the applicant. Joint exhibit number 1 is the affidavit of publication indicating that tonight's hearing has been properly noticed. Joint exhibit number 2 is
Planning Commission.
Planning Commission letter, and these are subject to anybody who wants to review them, please. Joint exhibit number 3 is a report from Lenny Sizer, the Penn Township zoning officer. Joint exhibit number 4 is a conditional use application filed by John Lee and Jane Selle. Exhibit number 5 appears to be a statement as to the nature of the service provided by CPRS Physical Therapy. Joining exhibit number 6 appears to be a non-conforming registration use that was filed in the township on 9/11/14. Number 7 is a response from Leonard Sizer to that non-conforming use, listed as joint exhibit number 7. Joint exhibit number 8 is a description of the hours of operation, the employees, parking spots, buffer zone, and the well and septic that will service the property. Joint exhibit number 9 appears to be a listing of all property owners in or around the property in question. Number 10 appears to be an aerial photo that sets forth the buildings and topography of the property. Joint exhibit number 11 is an expanded view of number 10. Joint exhibit number 12 is a list of property owners within 200 feet of the site. Joint exhibit number 13 is another property owner, in this case Mr. Fox. 14 is another property owner, Mr. Morris. 15 is Richard Morris. 16 is Robert Gers, G-E-R-S. 17 is Mr. Haverman, H-A-V-E-R-M-A-N. Joint exhibit 18, Mrs. Lori Harris. Joint exhibit 19, Robert Shadow. Joint exhibit 20, Matzo Balls Market. And joint exhibit 21, another Matzo Balls Market. That appears to be the documents that we are filing in this record for purposes of tonight's conditional use hearing. It would appear as though the issue presented to the Board of Supervisors this evening is more particularly contained in the zoning ordinance of the township, section 1701, subsection 4, which provides, paraphrased, no existing non-conforming use may be changed to any other non-conforming use unless approved as a conditional use by the Board of Supervisors. The Board of Supervisors, in evaluating the application, shall find that the proposed non-conforming use is not more detrimental to the district than the existing non-conforming use of the property. Board of Supervisors may also specify such appropriate conditions and safeguards as may be required. Having said that, I believe the board is interested in hearing from the applicant as it relates to that specific issue. Why is your proposed non-conforming use any different from or any not more detrimental to the district than the existing non-conforming use? The documents we have here pretty much fulfill all of the other requirements under section 1820 at SEC. So I think we're pretty much interested in making sure that your proposed non-conforming use is not more detrimental to the district than the existing non-conforming use. So if someone wants to address that, we would appreciate that very much. Mr. Fox?
Do we know what the secondary or the new non-conforming use is going to be?
Yes, we
How
know.
can we say whether it's going to be more detrimental or not?
Well,
I'll address that.
the application by its very nature is a good question, indicates that currently the non-conforming use is a commercial daycare facility, and the proposed change to a non-conforming use is for a physical therapy center. So having said that, who will be the spokesman on that
I'll just
issue?
introduce Tom Marsilio, who owns, one of the owners of CPRS, the intended user of the property. And as you stated, in the use being the same and or more restrictive, typically with the non-conforming, in that he will have less hours of operation. Currently, the daycare center operated by the Salles operates from 6:30 to 6:30. He's not looking for as many hours. He will have less traffic, considerably less traffic, and Tom can address that. And then also that the use of the property, which is not necessarily criteria, but important to note that the property was originally built by the Jehovah's Witnesses. So it had a non-residential use. The Salles owned it for 25 years as a daycare center. And the property does not have, and never did have, a kitchen, residential bathrooms, and it's basically an open building with only, there are sections for the daycare, but, and actually the current user would actually have less use for the outside area, even the play area where the children are, which is a fenced-in area, is not needed. So though there may be a few more cars at times in operation than people dropping off, considerably less traffic than the estimated, the per trips with people coming in and out of the workers and employees could approach 100. And I'll let Tom address the use.
What we're projecting.
Just a minute, please, excuse me. In light of what Mr. Campbell has indicated, does anybody wish to ask Mr. Campbell any questions? I have a couple, just so I understand what you're saying. Your proposed new use has less hours than the current use, has projected less traffic than the current use, will continue as a non-residential use. The current facility has no kitchen, and it's not intended that the new use would have a kitchen. The current use has no residents staying there overnight, and the proposed new use will have no residents staying overnight. And that the outside of the facilities will have less use under the new use than the old one. Is that a correct capsulization of what you just told us? Thank you. Make it continue.
As far as physical therapy, in this clinic, what we're looking is probably 100 visits a week, give or take, and that is when it grows and operates at the capabilities we feel it can operate. In terms of new customers coming in, we're hoping between hopefully 5 to 10 a week in a clinic this size.
For purposes of our record, physical therapy is what the common layman understands to be manipulation, strengthening bones, helping learn to re-walk after broken legs and things of that nature.
Correct.
And you have no residents that are going to spend the night there.
No, it's an outpatient physical therapy clinic, so the people will come, usually treating musculoskeletal injury, neurological disorders, so forth and so on. And a typical visit in physical therapy is anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour and 15 minutes.
Any questions of this gentleman?
Our hours of operation are going to be Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. and Tuesdays and Fridays 7 a.m. till noon.
Any questions of this gentleman? Any additional information you folks want to impart to the board in support of your application? Thank you. Anybody want to speak on behalf of the applicant or speak against the applicant's application? Mr. Fox.
I wish to speak on behalf of the applicants. I've lived in the adjoining house since 1975, and the Selleys tell me they took over in 1989. I could not remember when that was, but they've been good neighbors to us, and I am sure that the noise from the play yard, which has not been a problem with us as residents, as June will tell you, will be diminished considerably by turning it into a physical therapy facility that's operating 3 full days and 2 part days. And I would have no objections to that conditional use being granted.
Any questions of Mr. Fox in light of his comment? Are you anticipating at your age and my age that we may need that facility?
Possibly.
Okay, I just want to make sure that.
Slide down the grass.
Any other questions of the
My
applicant?
residence is probably the closest one to the facility.
Any other questions of the applicant?
It states here that eventually you're going to buy the facility?
Yeah, we're going to own the property.
You're gonna own the property? Okay, and knowing what Mr. Fox said, that these folks have been great neighbors for over 25 years, you understand being neighborly?
We have 26 locations throughout Central PA, and we will be very neighborly. We're locally owned, locally run.
Okay. Well, and as being an asset to the community, I can say with the vision of our county is to bring health services to our communities. So in joining our county commissioners and those in leadership in the county, I believe that this will continue to be the asset to our community, to making healthcare available to our citizens right here in our community.
Any other comments? Be appropriate, Mr. Chairman, that you close the testimonial part of the hearing, and then you gentlemen can decide whether you want to vote to approve or disapprove. And if you vote to either, I'll dictate the findings of fact and conclusions of law for this young lady to put in the record, and we can conclude this evening if you want to do that. You also have the right to table it till the next meeting. It's up to you.
Okay. I'll declare the testimony portion of the hearing closed. Supervisor Peters?
I second.
Okay. I don't think I need it, but thanks.
Okay. Just in case.
What's your pleasure? Do you prefer to consider a decision tonight or to table?
I don't, without having Chairman Holman's input here tonight, I don't see why we would hold it up any further. You know, we knew this was coming. We've had ample opportunity to look at this information. They meet all the requirements to go forward. So I would like to put a motion forward that we go ahead and grant the conditional use application for John Lee and Jane E. Selle.
That's your motion?
That's my motion.
I second the motion. All those in favor give their consent by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? No?
For purposes of the record, we have to do findings of fact and conclusions of law, and we will do them at the present time, and then we'll need you gentlemen to adopt the findings of fact and conclusions. They will be as follows. Number one, an application for conditional use was filed by John Lee and Jane Selle. June, I'm sorry, Selle, of 5 Muhlenberg Avenue, Duncannon, Pennsylvania, 2. The present location is a non-conforming use according to the zoning ordinance of Penn Township 3. The proposed conditional use is to change the current non-conforming use to another non-conforming use, that being a physical therapy center. Next number. The advertisement of the hearing was properly done. Next number. All documents necessary in support of the application as required by the zoning ordinance of Penn Township have been provided. Next number. Specifically, the board finds that the anticipated new use provides less hours, less traffic, continues to be a non-residential use will continue not to use the kitchen in the current facility, will have no residents spending the night, will have less use of the outside facilities. As such, next number, as such, the Board of Supervisors makes a specific finding that the proposed non-conforming use is not more detrimental to the district than the existing or discontinued non-conforming use of the property. Conclusions of law. Applicant has filed an application for conditional use of his property as a physical therapy center. 2, all the requirements of the Penn Township ordinances have been met. 3, advertisement was properly undertaken. 4, the record completely contains the necessary information for the Board of Supervisors to make its determination. 5, the board specifically finds as a matter of law that the intended use does not constitute more of a detriment to the district than the existing use. Conclusion, the application for the conditional use of the property is hereby approved. If that's acceptable to the board, I'll need a vote to adopt what I just dictated in the record so that the record is complete.
I make that motion. Do I hear a second?
I second.
Motion made with the second. All those in favor give their consent by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
What time do you open tomorrow? My back's been hurting. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Do we have a couple minutes to,
Yeah.
okay.